Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the things Eiji Aonuma, the developer of the Legend of Zelda series, has been saying, or well, more specifically, one of the things he's been saying about the new Zelda game for Wii U. He's been saying some things about multiplayer in this game. He said, and I quote, "When I was talking back about making Zelda more than just a single-player experience, that's something you will see in the future, maybe next year." And this sort of threw me, because we haven't really seen a Zelda, except perhaps the Four Swords games, that we've had anything really that you could call a multiplayer experience. You've had, I suppose in latest Zelda games, you've had sort of connectivity with other players, like being able to share things to Miiverse and Tingle Bottles and all that, and perhaps the Tingle Tuner in the original Wind Waker, but other than that, there hasn't actually been that much multiplayer. So, Eiji Aonuma saying that there will be multiplayer in this new Zelda game, we don't know what to expect really from this. So now I was having a think, and along the lines of companions and along the lines of companions in dungeons and stuff, that's what I was thinking could work as a multiplayer experience in Zelda. He mentioned how the gamepad was used in Hyrule Warriors, that one player could control what was happening on screen on the TV, and then a second player could use the gamepad to help the first player or do something like that. So I was thinking, in dungeons and stuff, you could have, here's how it could work. You'd have one player who'd be playing as Link. This would be sort of a player one, if you will. He'd be playing using the TV, playing a Legend of Zelda game like normal, like anyone has done before. So he'd be using the TV, but then another player could join in using the gamepad, and using the gamepad play a role of one of Link's companions or an alternate character or something that'll help him in the dungeon. Perhaps not, complete the dungeon like Link will, like defeat the boss, get the mini item, beat the mini boss, all that. Perhaps not fill Link's role and sort of complete the dungeon himself, but definitely play a more major role than anything we've seen before in a Zelda game. We've seen something like this before, as in having an alternate character or a companion that helps you in a dungeon. With a good example of this is Wind Waker, where we've seen Medley, Makar, and the Servants of the Tower in the Earth Temple, the Wind Temple, and the Tower of the Gods, respectively. You could play the command melody to control this other character, and you'd sort of phase into them, and they'd be used to solve puzzles that Link couldn't. So, along those lines, you could have your second player playing as some sort of character, like Medley, Makar, Servants of the Tower, and this other player could help Link by solving puzzles that Link can't, but the second player would have to play a bigger role in the dungeon than Servants have done ever before in order to make the multiplayer experience fulfilling for the second player. Of course, since it is a Zelda game, it would have to work single player, so because not everyone's going to have a second person, and even if it's online, not everyone is going to want to play with a second player in the Zelda game. So they will have to work around that and make sure the dungeon can be completed, and can be completed in a fun and interesting way without the use of a second player. That's the thing I'm mainly concerned about this. This could be an extremely, extremely good addition to a Zelda game, having some sort of multiplayer element to it, but at the same time, it could also greatly restrict how good the game could be as a single player experience. Either way, subscribe if you want to see more of these I suppose speculation and that sort of stuff videos. I'm going to be posting a lot more on the Legend of Zelda Wii U, and as new information comes out, there'll be new things to talk about and stuff, all building up to the game's release. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, all that. I'll see you next time.